want to begin today with a question. Have you ever seen a tiny single axle, less than 5,000 pound trailer with a literal walk-in closet built into the slide out? Because I haven't. Hey everybody, welcome back to the regular members of the RV Nerd Herd. My name's Josh the RV Nerd. I guess CEO of the herd. This is a model I've been trying to get my hands on and I kept just missing it. The 162VIEW from either Salem or Wildwood, either way still called FSX group. And it is one of the most interesting single axle RVs I think I've ever seen. It has an insane amount of square footage of window coverage considering the size of the RV. But what it does is it gives us a bigger, wide open living space. You've got simulated cinema seating with some incliner kickouts on the couch. But you've got a versatile bed, which allows them to have a north-south kind of walk-around small bed that it can convert into like a lounge space. So if it's a rainy day and you just want to stretch out, you've got awesome window coverage. The kitchenette in this thing is very interesting. It almost reminds me of like, they took 3 or 4 small campers and Franken-mashed them together, which is a technical term, mind you. But it's almost like a baby version of like an Imagine 22 MLE in some respects in that kitchen, obviously, or maybe a 17 MKE. It's not exactly like anything else. It is still its own really unique animal right here. You know, good private bathroom space. We're looking at it in platinum package today with the optional fiberglass and just really cool nose cap and windshield. But by default, this would actually normally have a tin skin. But this year, they changed and went to a more retro style metal. The cool thing about that is it's actually like 25% thicker, so it's more impact resistant, and it has Tough Coat, which is a scratch resistant coating built right onto it. So you can get this one in 2 very different exterior looks, but the actual RV won't change. I've talked way too much. Let's get inside there. This one's a lot of fun. Now, I'm always trying to do different things to bring you all sorts of different information and to fulfill your requests, but there's some like air conditioner noise samples that are hard for me to do because normally I only have 12 volt power available. Today we're plugged in and I'm standing directly under the air conditioner right here so you can hear it. I'm guessing you can because this one is a direct dump air conditioner, which is usually a little bit louder. To give you a comparison, that's what it sounds like when we shut the air conditioner off. I haven't watched this footage. I haven't listened to it. I have no idea what it's going to sound like. You might not even hear me a few seconds ago, but I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a sample so that you had an idea. So if stuff like that is helpful and useful and you appreciate it, you know, subscribe if you haven't before. I'll always do my best to provide you with all the information I really possibly can. That's why my videos tend to run so darn long, you know. If what you're looking for is a, 60 seconds or less kind of situation, I'm probably not your guy. But if you're looking to, drop multiple thousands of dollars and you want to know what you get for it, I might be able to help cut the learning curve a little. So we're basically on the driver's side of the RV, up by the bed. Like if you just got out of bed in the morning, this is kind of what things would look like right here. The RV doesn't have a traditional dining arrangement. A lot of people are okay with that. They did include those little swivel stands. They're not much, but they're less than 0. But if you notice, because of the slide, there's plenty of space here that would leave you room for like a little folding leg, like floating table. And man, you could hide one inside that slide as a cargo compartment very, very easily. You may also have picked up that it does have the kick-out incliners. This brand is also really good about giving us power outlets, typically in really good locations. Obviously, hold on. I'm not doing my job if I don't bring a lot of attention to the campsite window coverage on this, because it's the whole point of the floor plan, effectively. How can they give us more windows on the campsite? And it's really funny. I was talking to one of the guys who isn't like the product manager, but just one of the people that works for this group. And they said, man, people really like the windows on the campsite. And I'm like, yeah, they've only been asking for that since the dawn of time. It's kind of like when Heinz finally made a ketchup bottle with a squirter on the bottom so that the ketchup comes out easier instead of having to bang a knife against the side of a glass bottle. It's like the people at Heinz are like, well, are people having trouble getting ketchup? Well, yeah, since the dawn of time, Mr. Heinz. Thank you for finally making a change. Kitchens fully equipped in a sense. We've got a 3-burner propane stovetop above an electric oven, like convection oven or microwave. And some people, that doesn't work for them. Some people don't like it located down below the countertop. That's solid surface counter too, by the way. That's interesting. But in a small RV like this, that's just what they have space for. They didn't have room for like that, for like a propane oven and a microwave and all that. So they kind of did the best they could. Now, as a result of the giant windows, they also don't have the opportunity to build a traditional stovetop vent hood. So what we have is a small power vent fan directly above that. I would probably spend anywhere from like $175 to $200 if I bought this RV to change that vent fan and the bathroom vent fan to a Heng's Vortex fan. A lot of people like the phrase Max Air. They don't realize Max Air is a brand name, and they run $400 to $500 each, and they're very invasive on their install. A Heng's Vortex fan literally just sticks up inside that vent and uses the existing wiring. It's genius. It's high velocity, fraction of the price. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. I talk about them all the time because I love them. This corner reminds me a lot of like an Imagine 17 MKE or one of the whole world of clones that has since existed. Little power outlet appliance corner back there. And FSX was really one of the first brands who they actually camp in the RVs they use. And they were one of the first brands to start using these removable portable Bluetooth speakers. That's a charging mount with dual USB plugs built right into it. I think that works so well in these RVs. By the way, did you hear that click, 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 click? Bonus points to anybody in the comments section that can identify what that, we'll call it cricket sound was. Little bit of a bathroom peekaboo, I smell you door. I suppose that's probably so some air conditioning can get in there since it is a non-ducted air system. The accent light above that slide is so nice just to help brighten, lighten it up, open it up, make it feel bigger. A lot of small RVs, people don't really care about having a television, but this has an absolute proper spot for the television. Let me get this swivel stand out of the way. I almost sat on the thing. That would have been an interesting unintentional colonoscopy. So if I'm sitting at the sofa, I've got the camera right next to my head. If my voice is super loud right now, I'm sorry. I'm like, excited. I need to back it down a little bit. You get the idea. Perfect spot for a TV if you want one. Even that is solid surface counter. That's surprising. Do they need that? You know, you're spending a couple bucks for it, but it's not thermal foil. One of the cool things is there's good thermal foil, and then there's budget thermal foil. And budget thermal foil isn't actually sealed around the edge, and humidity, water can still kind of get into it and cause the plastic top to pop off of the actual countertop core. That can obviously, be a problem. The thing is, from the back to the front, also, this RV surprised me a little bit by having a north-south bed configuration, and it's really one of the ways that this floor plan works. It has that power VersaBed system. If they did not have that, you would not be able to close the slide. So if they didn't have the VersaBed, this would have to be an east-west bed configuration. And if you don't care about the VersaBed lounge function, that's totally fine, guys. All you have to do when you get there, push one button one time to put the thing down. It takes less time than putting out the awning. And then when you go to travel, you just, quote, put the bed away. I will tell you that the VersaBed does not have any sort of sensor switch that will prevent the slide out from closing. So I would highly recommend putting like a orange sticky note or something over there that says bed. So you're like, oh, shoot, yeah, don't crush that thing. That might be a major handy saver feature right there. I think, yeah, we've already looked at all the big windows and all the stuff over here. Household and USB outlets on both sides of the bed is nice. And you might notice, kind of like the bigger Salem Wildwoods a year ago, they're doing what they used to call CPAP side pockets, but they put the power outlets out here. So I don't know. I guess maybe it's just a handy little place to keep your phone where it's not, the light's not bugging you. I'm not sure. Getting up here, one of the other things is when you get the Platinum Edition, you get a full nose cap with I almost fell. With a windshield that also includes that privacy shade. Sorry, I had to reach up there with my left knee. I had to move fast. My left knee is not liking me lately here. I need to lose some weight. Anyway, enough about my dietary habits. Popping that VersaBed down, giving you a look at the bed storage and everything there. It looks like a short queen. There is room for a true queen in here. However, that VersaBed is really, the way this one is built, is really built and intended with a short camp queen. So, if you want to put a true queen bed in here, you can. It's going to come right up next to the entertainment center, but you can put a true queen in here. But if you go to put the bed away, you're going to want to let the Versa platform lift and then somehow shove the true queen up there, or stick with a camp queen and then put like a 6-inch spacer block in the headboard area of the bed once you drop it down into sleeper position instead of lounge position. Those are just I want to give you some pro tips now to maybe help you avoid breaking the RV in the future. I mentioned that we were going to come back to take a look at everything else, basically. Let's kick out those little sofa incliners there, get you some cinema seat sort of pseudo function. We've also, of course, got that like the sofa can fold down to a little sleeper, but a little bit of kitchen storage here. However, the one thing that came as a really awesome, pleasant surprise to me was that like pantry cabinet that slides open almost over the sink. The storage comes to you, because otherwise that you'd really have to reach around that corner. It'd be a bit of a trick to do that, and now you don't have to do that. I thought that was really, really smart right there, where they basically made a cabinet a giant drawer that slides to you, but mounted up high. Little details like that. They could have gone less expensive. They could have gone simpler. And in a single axle stick and tin camper, even though this is fiberglass skin, it's a stick built class, people probably wouldn't have even hesitated. But they didn't do that. They still put some thought into it. Kind of like this. How many RVs give you the opportunity for a literal walk-in closet? I'll wait. You know, especially hidden within a slide, very, very few. Very precious few RVs do that. Notice how you've got some USB plugs in that cabinet down by the floor. Then you've got some households and USBs up here. Seems like maybe a weird position, except for the fact that this thing goes all the way around back here in the slide out. Now, what I've done here is, this could also obviously be bunks, and I think this is how most people show it. It's how I've usually showed it. I wanted to try to do something a little bit different, where if you want a little hidden pet palace or cargo box space or something like that in here, you could. Notice how upper and lower both get breeze through windows, which is really, really nice. If you wanted to, you could absolutely use this as desk space. Now your power outlets are back there behind you, but you could use this as desk space if you were so inclined. The thing though is, trying to get air conditioning in here is a little bit of a trick. Now there's a force air fan system, but you will not wonder if you left the fan on or not. I will simply say it that way. Does it get air in here? Yes. Is it noisy? Yes. Does it bother me? No. I like a fan when I sleep. To be fair though, it is quite a bit. It is fairly loud. Giving you a little extra look here. Again, this could act in bunk function mode, absolutely. But this slide is pre-made to do multiple things without actually modifying it from factory spec, aka messing with any aspect of your warranty. You can use this so many different ways and still be covered. It almost reminds me of like Jake from State Farm. He's like, you're good, you know, you can do whatever you want with it. It is, in case you're curious, this one is just a aggressive magnet catch kind of system. What I would say though is it's basically like 5 or 6 cabinet magnet catches like you'd have on your all these cabinet doors you're looking at. I think it would probably still be a really good idea if you got like a door stopper and wedged it down there. Just anything extra you could to keep that from going wham open in transit. You're not going to regret having it. We haven't looked at the bathroom yet, and then we got to check out road mode. Let's do it, baby. Toilet space. I mean, small camper. It's not bad. You know, that's not the worst toilet I've ever seen. The little box over here, I call it the RV squatty potty step, but it's actually just where some water plumbing lines are run. Small sink, but they did give us a dedicated sink and medicine cabinet in the bathroom. So you're not washing your bathroom hands in the kitchen sink. Some people really, really like that. Oh, I just keyed into the fact. So above the shower, you've got a wombo combo. This is a power vent fan and skylight. Now, I want to point something out here to help you understand RV construction. If you look at this, it looks like the fit and finish is bad, like the guys don't know what they're doing. That fan is mounted super crooked, right? Only as compared to the orientation of the inside of the RV. That fan is orientated to the barreled exterior roof line of the RV. So it's correct in the way that it needs to be mounted. It's just that vent isn't actually just straight up and down square. It really messes people up. But that light in the shower, that's like one of those Brinkley style lights in the shower. That's fantastic because, like, think of like today, this RV, we are recording this footage inside of a building where it does not get excellent light in the bathroom. A lot of manufacturers use that annoying plastic skylight, one for headroom, but two to give you light in the RV. And they've come up with a different way of doing that. So if you're taking a shower at night, you can still see what's up. And I'll say the road mode on this one is tighter than I thought. I always forget with these View campers how big and deep that slide is. You can get through it. You can get through it for sure, but you're absolutely doing a sideways travel trailer shuffle step to get there. And my feet got stuck. I'm just clumsy. There's nothing wrong with the camper. I'm just an idiot. Like I was saying earlier, you absolutely need the bed in the up position to be able to close that. Now, while we're taking a look at like the bathroom access, I want to talk about the slide. You see the cable right there. This is the Norco exact slide system. Actually, they kind of tell us that right up here. One of the cool advantages of that is that slide, it can actually be sat in and used or cargo loaded while it is retracted, like we are seeing right now. A lot of RV slides, like, I need to make a separate video updating this, but a lot of RV slides are not made for that kind of function. So this is potentially a major shift for people, especially depending on how you intend to use that middle room. And if this information is handy, if you like how we close the slides for you, if you like how we get out here and sweat our faces off, or if you're just feeling friendly, hit the like button on the video or subscribe, and let's get going. So one of the first things that I need to discuss as we step outside here is how not all of these look like this. The one that we're looking at today is outfitted in what they call their Platinum package. That swaps from conventional, well, not even conventional anymore, I'm gonna say retro tin skin to the fiberglass sidewalls. And it also changes the nose from just a plain like aluminum sheet to that full-on fiberglass nose cap with the cool windshield. This is actually pretty much the windshield that like the Heritage Glen and Hemispheres were using previously. The little brother basically got a hold of Big Brother's toys, and he said, you know what, it's mine now. You don't get it back, Gregory, because Gregory always breaks it. Anyway, you don't care. This is not what it normally looks like. If we take a quick jaunt over here, when I say traditional retro metal, this is what I mean. Instead of what's called the Mesa crimp, which is what you find on most things like, you know, J-Flights, Catalinas, until recently, Big Brother Salem and Wildwood, you find this stuff. In the modern market, like some of the Riverside Retros had used it, Transcend has used it quite a bit. And the thing is, it's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit heavier, but it's more impact resistant because it's 25% thicker. So less, you know, looks like Woody Woodpecker marks right up the side of your RV. It also has what's called Tough Coat, which is an anti-scratch coating. Or you can get the fiberglass package. There's a really important difference here though. Fiberglass package, it looks cool. It adds some cost. It also adds some weight. So I'm looking at the dry weight and the cargo capacity of this specific RV right here. I want to put the specs back up on screen one more time because the specs that you're seeing on screen are for the absolute base model version of this. And as you can see, when you add the Platinum package, you do add a little bit of weight, which means you lose cargo capacity. And that is a very important factor when you're talking about one of these. You go Platinum on this and already you're below 1,000 pounds cargo capacity. It's, what's this one, 821 pounds? I've seen worse. It certainly could be better. This is the Exact Slide system, for those who are curious, the Norco Exact Slide. One of the awesome benefits of that, again, is that it can be occupied while retracted. So an RV like this, where maybe you're not even using it as bunks, maybe you're using the bunks at a travel stop, maybe you're using it just for personal cargo, storage space, walk-in closet, whatever the case may be. The fact that it can handle more cargo loaded while closed, I think is really worth mentioning. Now, these are 7.5 foot wide, and they absolutely kicked off the modern trend of 7.5 foot wide small single axle campers. It absolutely began with these guys. Technically, Apex Nano was doing it a little bit sooner, but they went 7.5 wide, and then a little bit after, you started seeing more and more brands like J Feather Micro, Catalina, Wolf Pup. More and more brands on single axles went 7.5 foot wide because it just allows you to accomplish stuff on a floor plan that a 7 foot wide simply never could. Let me see if I can shed some light on the situation. There we go. Accio light, as they would say in Harry Potter. No, what is it? You know, when they're tangled in the devil's snare and Hermione has to cast the light spell. Again, you don't care. You probably don't care about Harry Potter spells. Otherwise, you'd just be watching Harry Potter YouTube videos. Let me back up. Magnet holdbacks on the baggage doors is a nice little touch. The RV is not terribly big. And some people are going to say, man, there's absolutely no way I'd put that kind of weight on a single axle. Respect, okay? I'm not going to argue with you. I totally get that. That's one of the things I really try to accomplish in my videos. I always try to give you as much of the real deal Evander Holyfield information as I can. But to get an RV this size, this weight, with these features, it's got to be a single axle. There's just no other way around it, unless you want to pay crazy big money for like super space age composite materials and stuff. You can barely see it peeking up over the roof line. But another thing that goes with Platinum, last I knew, is, well, I know it's true up in the bigger tandem axles. If you go Platinum, you automatically get the 200 watt solar package. It might be separate down here in the FSX, because something that's not really obvious to people, you just see Forest River Wildwood, and then you see a couple letters under it. What you don't know is it's actually a different subset of Wildwood people. So there's X-Lite and Wildwood, or Cruise Light and Salem, and then there's FSX. FSX is a sister. They have the same parents, but they're not twins. They're not identical. They're run by different people, built by different people, managed slightly differently. They do try to work to keep things in line with one another, but that's why sometimes you'll find some weird incongruences with options and whatnot. The underbelly of this, by the way, it is enclosed. That always sounds like I said isn't closed. It is enclosed. There we go. It also does have a walkable roof with some ladder prep over there, which is a nice handy dandy little feature. A couple of the quick details. I can't really get you to the other side of the RV, my apologies, but if you look over my shoulder, you see hot cold outside utility shower and the on-demand water heater. Down below that, there's also a gas grill quick connect. The only thing I would say is if you're running the water heater, you're going to be right, and you have a grill right next to this, you have a hot air exhaust furnace point, basically, not furnace, but yeah, you know, the hot air exhaust point off the on-demand water heater that could scorch you. One of the things I wanted to show you, but you can't see because I can't get you around there, is this RV, thankfully, does have a single sewer outlet, because the kitchen, bathroom, and everything are right in the back of the RV. You don't have to do the poop scoop boogie to juggle sewer hoses and hook them up into different things. When the video began, I was mentioning a 165 view. I get these two model numbers mixed up. If you're not familiar with that one, check the links in the video description, assuming I remember. I'll try to leave you a link to it, as well as links to pricing and availability to see where we have one of these parked and what we're asking. Now, if we stock these and how many will largely be based heavily on your input. Is this something you really want to potentially go out and buy? Is this something that we need to have in stock for you? Or is it kind of just a niche-y one-off, maybe I order one or two a year kind of thing? Let us know, because you drive this channel and your input also helps drive our business. And we just want to keep it between the lines, kind of like coloring. We don't want to go off-road with our business plan. When you're ready, we're ready. We'd love to work with you. We don't do hidden fees, we just do everything else. I'm gonna go find some air conditioning because it is hotter than downtown hell out here. So you take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.